don't hesitate when we say you should be buying these hard assets, because as inflation is doing this over time, your property is going to keep going up with it. Hey guys, Sean Bloomquist, Pine Financial Group, where we work together so you succeed. If you're watching this video on Facebook or YouTube, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We want you guys up to date on all the video we're releasing each week. Today we're going to talk about a subject that we hear more and more these days, and it's something we get asked more often, is inflation. Inflation is a huge thing right now in the news, and we've got a lot of questions on how's that going to affect me as a real estate investor?
Yeah, it's such a good question. It's a complicated one. You know, we hear constantly, Sean, that if you're trying to hedge inflation or combat inflation, you need to be in real assets, right? So you think about gold, for example, that typically goes up against the dollar when the dollar's devaluing. So if we're in real assets, it's typically a nice hedge. And for me, there's no better real asset than real estate.
Which is exactly why we tell people you should be buying, because as real estate goes up, it's going up with inflation.
Yeah, and it's such a good point that you say that. We were like drilling into our clients, like, buy rentals now during COVID when you saw all the government stimulus, because there's only one result to that much stimulus, and that's inflation. So people that tell me that they're like surprised at what's going on right now, I'm surprised.
I'm surprised that they're surprised.
You knew this was coming.
Yeah. It was pretty obvious that it was going to be the next thing after all that initial spending. But the irony is, inflation is always going to be here.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of doom and gloom, like, oh, we kind of missed it because all the stimulus came in 2020, and we saw the rise in interest rates, and I think we kind of hit a peak in inflation, so now we're expecting it to come down. So possibly you'd see real estate values come down with that, but I don't think so, because of what you're saying, and maybe that's the message here. There's always going to be inflation. Yeah,
and I mean, the market may soften a little, but it's not going to take that big nosedive that people are kind of anticipating. So don't hesitate when we say you should be buying these hard assets, because as inflation is doing this over time, your property is going to keep going up with it over time.
Yeah, over time.
Yeah, right. And it'll put you in a better position to succeed.
And now you know for the next time.
Yeah.
When you see high inflation, you're going to see a couple of things. You're going to see a rise in interest rates. It happens every single time. You're going to see an increase in real asset values. It happens every single time. And for us, specifically in real estate, you're going to see an increase in rent amount because housing costs go up. So you're going to see your tenants paying more in rent. It happens every single time.
So as you have these properties and you're gaining equity over time and the rents are going up, you're cash flowing even more.
That's right.
It's as good as it gets to be in that type of an asset to battle inflation, essentially.
So let me just ask you this before we close up here, because it's a pretty simple topic, right? How the impact of inflation on real estate. So is now time to buy?
I think it's always a time to buy. I think it's always a time to buy. You're getting in an asset that over time and over the course of the last 40, 50 years, like Coop has said, it's something that has always climbed over time. So even if it seems like it's going down a little bit now, in the long run, it'll benefit you.
Yeah, don't try to time the market, guys. You could buy any market and make money as long as you're doing the correct analysis on the deal, which we can help you with if you give us a call, or if you've got a long horizon. That way you could ride out any corrections and movement in the housing values. So.
Exactly. Yeah, if you guys got any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. You can check us out at pinefinancialgroup.com.